Well, anime fans, it is time to officially induct members into the Dragon Ball Bad Guy Hall of Fame. These are the villains who are the true icons of their sport. The sport of being super evil, that is. First up, we have the Michael Jordan of Dragon Ball villains, Frieza himself. For years, Frieza was the ultimate evil MVP of the series. He was a more hyped up villain than Thanos was, as the entire Namek saga built up what a massive threat he was. Then, he did not disappoint when it was his turn to take on the Z-Fighters. With each new terrifying form he took on, our heroes found themselves more and more outmatched. Super Saiyan hopeful Vegeta's revenge was ruined a few times over, and Piccolo's return to the game was short-lived. Ultimately, the heroes needed Goku to take Frieza on, and even that wasn't enough. This was the guy who tore through the Ginyu Force like they were tissue paper, and Frieza didn't even need to use his full power on him. Luckily for Goku, he unlocked the Super Saiyan form and changed the game forever. Even with a huge power boost, Frieza went toe-to-toe with the hero before finally getting taken out along with Namek itself. Since then, Frieza has fallen on some hard times. His comebacks as both Mecha and Golden Frieza both fell short of the greatness we've come to expect from the Galactic Warlord. That being said, he proved himself in the Tournament of Power and wisely used Broly as a pawn against Goku and Vegeta. Frieza fans, there is still reason to hope that his best days are in front of him. While other villains have either gone good or are gone for good, this one is still in the game. Now, Frieza was a hard villain to top. Then, Cell came in, and even if he didn't surpass Frieza, he certainly proved himself to be a worthy successor. Dr. Gero had to combine the genes of Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, and Frieza to create a greater villain. Now, I know what you're thinking. Doesn't genetic tampering disqualify him from the Hall of Fame? Well, the CBR board met on this and debated for several weeks and decided that Cell didn't do the genetic tampering himself, so he's all good. It was a close call though. Like Frieza before him, Cell showed multiple forms that steadily increased his threat. He was such a tough villain that our heroes had to train in the hyperbolic time chamber to stand up to him. You know it's bad when your heroes have to pause time just to get an edge. If that wasn't enough, Cell had to flex on the whole world by staging his own fighting tournament. See, it wasn't enough for him to just beat all of Earth's heroes. He wanted to do it on live TV. If there was any doubt he had Vegeta's genes, this puts them to rest. That kind of pride doesn't come from just anywhere. Cell put up a valiant fight in the Cell games, but ultimately, Gohan took him out. That's right, Gohan did it. I know there are a lot of people out there that think that Hercule was the winner of the Cell games, but don't believe everything you hear. If Frieza is the Michael Jordan of the series, then Jiren is LeBron James. He's the newest player who many fans think is the true greatest of all time. That GOAT argument rages on in the comment section every time he's brought up. The thing about Jiren is, he wasn't defeated in the typical way a Dragon Ball villain is. You know, that really satisfying thing where Goku blows them away with a Kamehameha wave that never gets old. Unlike other Dragon Ball villains, Jiren's never used a transformation or combined with someone else to become stronger. Nope, he is just an absolute beast that gave Goku quite the wake-up call during the Tournament of Power. When Goku and Team Universe 7 took on Jiren, the most they were able to do was take him out of the ring. And this was at the cost of both Goku and Frieza losing as well. While this was no small feat, this has led to quite a debate among Dragon Ball Super fans. Some think that Jiren is actually still more powerful than Goku. Sure, his Ultra Instinct put the hurt on Jiren, but Goku still can't control it very well. Their match ended with Goku challenging Jiren to a rematch. Hopefully we'll see it soon so we can clear up who truly is the greatest. Is there a worse way to disrespect Goku and Vegeta than to outmatch them at their own game? A lot of villains have shamed them over the years, but it is a special kind of defeat to out-Super Saiyan a pair of Super Saiyans. And that is exactly what Broly did when he made his big debut in Dragon Ball Super. The legendary Super Saiyan put a serious hurt on both Vegeta and Goku. The two of them were riding high after Team Universe 7 won the Tournament of Power. That good mood didn't last very long as their former teammate Frieza surprised them with a new Saiyan challenger. Broly showed up and basically became the Hulk of Dragon Ball Super. His green aura, mindless rage, and an epic skill for rampaging would give Hulk a run for his money. Vegeta and Goku were so outmatched that they had to fuse into Gogeta just to face him. It never even came to that during the tournament. Broly is still out there, so expect him to return to beat Goku and Vegeta from one side of the earth to the other real soon. Hopefully his Super sequels go better than his DBZ ones did. Bio Broly does not need to be canon, thank you very much. Out of all of the great villains that have appeared in the Dragon Ball franchise, there is only one team of villains that have actually won it all. Androids 17 and 18 actually did manage to defeat the Z Fighters and bring about the end of the world. Sure, this was in an alternate universe where Goku lost everything due to a heart virus, but that doesn't change the facts. 17 and 18 won. The two were so brutal and unstoppable that future Trunks had to travel into an alternate past to save the world. In that past, the two of them were still pretty formidable, even with Trunks warning everyone that they were coming. One of the biggest upsets in the history of the series came when Android 18 faced Super Saiyan Vegeta. She kicked him so hard that his arm snapped backwards. If that wasn't enough to induct them into the Hall of Fame, 17 technically won the Tournament of Power. Wishing all of the other universes back wasn't particularly evil, but it was pretty boss. While there will undoubtedly be more deadly villains in the series, it's unlikely we'll see any actually destroy the world like these two. That's a once-in-a-franchise kind of evil right there. Dragon Ball Super didn't mess around with its first arc. Following the defeat of Majin Buu and erasing the entire Dragon Ball GT continuity, this series started with a bang. It introduced one of the most powerful characters in the universe, Beerus, the god of destruction and the first of Super's MVPs. The series showed just how powerful Beerus was by having him take on Goku at his strongest without much effort. When a bad guy doesn't even flinch at the sight of Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you know things are bad. Goku had to get a new Super Saiyan God form just to challenge Beerus, and even that wasn't enough. It was lucky that Beerus had a huge weakness that could be exploited or Earth would be destroyed. You can say what you want about Earth, but we do have some really good desserts. Who would ever destroy the place that invented the hot fudge sundae? To this day, Beerus hasn't been defeated by Goku or Vegeta. While many fans think that Goku has surpassed him now, we still haven't seen their inevitable rematch. And even if he does manage to defeat Beerus, he'd probably have to go through Whis, who's even stronger. You guys remember the days when Goku was the most powerful one out there? He's a lot lower on that totem pole than he used to be. If you don't read the Dragon Ball Super manga, you might not be familiar with the newest, scariest villain in the series. Planet Eater Moro is perhaps the most threatening villain Goku and the gang have ever faced. Moro has the terrifying ability to consume ki energy. He's used this power to eat entire worlds and wipe out races of people. Not only that, but he can consume Vegeta and Goku's ki, thus nullifying their abilities to go Super Saiyan. If any of that didn't scare you yet, he broke all of the scariest villains the Galactic Patrol ever locked up out of prison. They're his personal army that he can grant bits of his energy to at any time. We haven't seen how the gang will end it with him yet, but it's safe to say that he is a Hall of Famer. Plus, it looks like this will finally be the time where Vegeta gets to take a big bad down. If that's not enough to get you to buy a manga, nothing will. Jiren, Beerus, and Frieza tend to dominate the conversation on Dragon Ball Super villains. Poor Zamasu gets left out most of the time, but he shouldn't be, especially not with how everyone freaked out the first time they saw Goku Black. What's really interesting about Zamasu's arc is that Goku and company really had to cheat to defeat him. Calling in the god of your universe to erase a bad guy from existence isn't exactly a fair fight. This time-traveling, body-stealing bad guy might not get the remembrance he deserves, but he'll be forever honored in our Hall of Fame, which is currently the highest YouTube video honor an anime villain can receive, so that's something. Alright, look, Garlic Jr. is probably one of the least popular Dragon Ball villains, if not the least popular. Many fans will still get in heated arguments over whether his Dragon Ball Z saga is canon or not. That being said, you've gotta give credit where credit is due, and old G Jr. has earned his spot. Most villains, or heroes for that matter, waste their wishes to Shenron, but Garlic Jr. capitalized on this. In Dead Zone, he manages to accomplish what Vegeta and Frieza only dream of: immortality itself. That means that ultimately our heroes have no hope of wiping Garlic Jr. out for good. The most they can do is continually send him back to the Dead Zone. He's returned from the Dead Zone once, and has even made his way into the main series, which is no small feat in and of itself. Broly may have pulled it off, but Cooler still has yet to, so we can hate on him all we want. Ultimately, that hate just fuels him more and more. He drinks fanboy tears for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We might not like it, but he has achieved more than so many Dragon Ball villains before or after him have. He is truly unbeatable. It's strange to think that the most memorable monster of the early days of the franchise is actually the series' protagonist. During the full moon, young Goku would turn into a sort of great ape werewolf who had immense power. His mindless rampages were some of the scariest moments in the original series. What makes Great Ape Goku more terrifying than villains like King Piccolo or the Red Ribbon Army is that he technically hasn't been defeated. The only way that Great Ape Goku has ever been taken down is by his tail or the moon itself getting destroyed. This goes for Great Ape Gohan as well. When you go back and rewatch the original Dragon Ball, the Great Ape is still the monster that fills you with the most fear, and that is why he earns his spot in the Hall of Fame among all the others, even if he is the dumbest. Well, actually, he might be as smart as Broly. It's a close one. Well, there you have it, our entries into the Dragon Ball Villain Hall of Fame. Which character do you think should join Frieza, Jiren, and the rest? And which one do you think shouldn't have made the cut? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to CBR for more Dragon Ball action.